Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by and visiting with me. Today I'm going to be working on my art journal, and this is going to be a very simple layout. I always say that. Very simple. I feel like the stuff that I make is so easy. Like, I don't want to make crafts that are complicated, and hopefully you guys don't think that they are. I say this one is simple because I'm using my scraps, you guys. So if you guys just saw the series, I did a build your stash with a lot of pieces that could be used for embellishments, and I still have a lot of scraps left over. um, I've talked about the different types of scraps. So when I have scraps, I store them all in the same area, but when it comes down to separating them, I like to divide them in three different sections. One is the long and skinny. This normally contains the brand strips, or that extra piece that hangs over the 12 by 12 paper. I also basically just long and skinny pieces. Then I have another section, or another group, that's called my weirdos, or no, my randos, and meaning randoms, but I just call them randos. And those are like chunky, small, different sizes kind of things. So they're like in the middle, in between. They could be chunky, like this one would be a rando right here that I'm cutting. I also have them small. See, that one would be a long and skinny. But I also have like small, chunky, a little bit. I don't know if it makes sense when I say my randos, you guys, because they're literally could be any sizes, but they're just not long and skinny, if that makes sense. And then my third group of scraps or leftover pieces are the bigger pieces that you could still add a photo to the background. You can still make a design or a project, or put it as a background paper for whatever it is you're doing, a picture, or for your focus, your center. So those are normally, for example, if you cut a 12 by 12 page paper, right, and you're only going to be using a 6 by 8, then the pieces that are left over would be in that group category, because they're bigger, they're chunkier, and you could definitely use them for other projects because they're bigger pieces. So those are my three groups: my long and skinny, my randos, and the leftovers for bigger pieces that are, those don't have a name, they're just large and bigger pieces. So those are the ones that you could use for other projects. So those are my three sets of scraps that I divide my leftovers into. Now for this art page, I am using a combination of the long and skinny in my rando pieces, like that yellow right there. Even though it's small and it's not as chunky, I would still consider that a random piece, or a rando, because it's not long and skinny. If that makes sense. I know I just totally confused you guys, but a few years ago, I'll try to find the video, but honestly it may be like way down in my down in the list, because I just realized I have almost like 390 videos. So it was earlier on when I did this video, and if I find it, I'll try to link it in the description so that you guys can check it out. Basically, I ended up doing paper because I got the idea of layering chipboard, just kind of like how you would do it, stack it against the wall, and then you would put another chipboard on top of it, so it looks like, is it chipboard? No, chip black. something. Dang, I hate it when I can't think of the words. But you guys know what I'm talking about, right? It's like the style of um, Joanne and Chip use on their decorative home decorations. I think it's shiplap. Anyways, it goes stacked on top of each other against the wall. And so I did this layout inspired by that. I know it was random. It was like 12 midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And that idea came to me. So then I was like, wait, well, instead of doing it like next to each other, why don't I just overlap it to make it something different? And that's where this idea was born from. And as you can see, I'm putting them in like random spaces, but I'm trying to balance the color, if that makes sense. And later on, or in a little bit, you guys are gonna see that even though these pieces are different, they're still in the pastel family, because this is my leftover. And because they're within the same family, I'm gonna find one thing that's gonna unify them and make them all come together. So I'm just gonna continue to add as much paper as I can. You know, like again, there's two purpose. The first one is I needed to get rid of some of my scraps, but I wanted to make something beautiful out of them. I just don't want to throw my scraps away. That's just not me, because I always feel guilty, like for the trees. I know that's a different topic, you guys, but so I try to use every source of paper I get and use all my materials. I hate being wasteful. I hate hoarding stuff and then not using it. So yeah, so that was the main purpose. And then the second purpose was I wanted to create an art journal page, basically. So I'm gonna use these crayons that are by Vicky Boughton, and they work without water if you just use your finger, but they also react to water. So I'm going to get a little brush and I am going to unify both pages or all the paper by tying them in with the yellow color. At first I was going to use the beige one that you see there, but decided to change my mind and I just end up sticking with the yellow. So for the rest of the video, I am going to be bringing in the titles from the Midnight collection by Coco Vanilla, and basically the scraps is my background and I'm just going to use the big words for my title. I'm going to add a little bit of sequin to add some bling, or a little bit of, I guess, a different accent. You guys know what I mean. Gosh, sometimes I feel like I sound so dumb. Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna add some sequin for decoration, even though it's not as noticeable because I did end up putting it in the paper, so it kind of blends in a little bit, but you could see it's there. I'm also going to fussy cut a couple images from scraps of paper also, and I'm gonna add that, and that is really it, you guys. That is how simple this art page is. And don't be scared to, so I don't know if you noticed, but at the beginning I was very self-conscious because this is the first time using this type of crayon, and I started little, but then I ended up adding it to the actual paper itself. So yeah, so don't be scared. It works, trust me. So I'm looking for the title now, and I decided to go with Happy Moments. And basically that is my art page and that is my title for this video. I decided to add them in foam or dimensionals, which is foam stickers, because I needed them to pop just a little bit more. And then like I said, for the other, I'm just going to fussy cut a few images, a few butterflies from honestly leftover also. Okay, like I said, I try to use, I'm getting to the point, you guys, where I even told Michael that he needed to build me like a, I don't know what it is called, but it's like a frame, a picture frame, and then you put like chicken wire. I don't think it's chicken wire, but you put like a mesh in it, and I want to be able to save the scraps of scraps and just put it in the blender, um, blend all the paperwork with the water so that it becomes like pieces, you know, like it blends, and then I could lay out and create my own paper. Like that's how serious I've been, I feel, about not being wasteful with paper, even if it is scraps of scraps. Like I want to be able to use everything, if that makes sense, and then create my own paper by adding, you know, like maybe rose water so it's scented, or going out to my garden and picking out the rose petals that fall on the ground and things like that. So you know, Mike, I've been waiting on him to do some projects in the house like 6 months, and he still hasn't done them. But he said he would do it, so I just need to nag him a little bit harder, so so he gets it done. So, anyways, you guys, I am probably gonna leave you here because I've already added my butterflies. I'm adding the sequin now. I'm gonna bring my wink of Stella, and I'm gonna add a little bit of glitter to those butterflies, and that's gonna be the video. More than anything, I want you guys to take the idea that you could create something pretty like this with just your scraps, so that we're not wasteful. um, that's the message. And I wanted to inspire you by showing you that you can make pretty art pages like this. And I've also done a scrapbooking page using this technique, and I have done something else with it that you guys will see shortly as well. So anyways, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.